Hello, everyone. I am Dave, the prayer guy. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I greatly appreciate it. My vision, as you hear every week, is to fuel God's mission with prayer. And then my ministry is to teach about that, teach about missional prayer, focusing our prayers in a missional way, praying for God's kingdom to advance, praying for more disciples, praying for our own discipleship journey to grow and for other disciples to grow. So I hope that this video and all my previous videos are encouragement to you as you think about praying more missionally, because that is a prayer that God desires to hear from us and desires to answer. And speaking of a missional prayer, the Lord's Prayer is a missional prayer. Some people call it the disciple prayer. I grew up going to Mass at the local Catholic parish every week, and I also went to CCD, or Christian Catechism Development. And so when I learned about the Lord's Prayer, we called it the Our Father, and we said it every week. Every week at Mass, we would say it. And we also would say it at other times as well. So I really became quickly to memorize it, and I can still say it today. And in kind of a funny story, when I was checking out churches when I lived in Sanford, Maine, so the church we joined, they also said the Lord's Prayer every week, but they used debts instead of trespasses, and that kind of tripped me up. So now, whenever I'm with a group of people and they're talking about we're going to say the Lord's Prayer, I will ask, so are we going to use debts? Are we going to use trespasses? And I guess some circles use sins. So I guess it all depends on where you are in the church community that you grew up in. But I did adjust, and it was actually a good experience for me. So, the Lord's Prayer, I said earlier that it is a missional prayer. And the prayer came about because the disciples asked Jesus to teach them to pray. And he said, well, this is how you are to pray. So, from memory, it is, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And then, of course, Protestants add a little section. I like to end it there. To each its own, I guess. It doesn't really matter because it's a prayer. It's talking to God. So basically, it's an outline. So you start out with it, Our Father who art in heaven, worshiping. You're describing God's attributes, who He is, and then you're asking for His kingdom to advance. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You're asking for His kingdom to be advanced, and then you're asking for provision and forgiveness and spiritual warfare about not being caught up in your temptation, but to be delivered from evil. And then at the end of it, you declare His power, especially the section that the Protestants have added. And it's just a beautiful prayer, and it's so missionally minded too. And it can be used as an outline. I mean, one of my prayers that I do is I use this as an outline, that I spend some time worshiping. And then I spend time asking requests that are about advancing His kingdom. And I spend time asking God to help me to forgive others and to forgive myself and to build relationships, and asking for provision, and I'm praying for spiritual warfare, praying for God to intervene when the forces of power and darkness. I mean, it is such a wonderful prayer, such a wonderful missional prayer. And that's what Jesus taught the disciples. Jesus taught the disciples to pray kind of in a missional way. Now, of course, He never used the word missional. That's just a phrase that He has given to me to use, but that is what is going on. The kingdom to advance in ways and for relationships, that you have with believers and non-believers, Lord, and not yet believers, Lord. So I hope that you will view the Lord's Prayer as like an outline of how to pray, and that it really is a teaching tool to teach other people how to pray, and especially praying more missionally. All right. Thank you so much for watching this. Again, I hope it is an encouragement. Help me out. hit the like button, subscribe to the channel for more encouraging videos on how to pray more missionally. And God bless, and may the Lord be with you.